All right, so we are officially recording.
Oh
And
my gosh,
I
it's my
know,
podcast partner.
I know, partner. It's been so long. It's
You
been,
guys, we are matching.
yeah, it's gonna be hard to see. Hold on, wait.
They can see it.
I hope so, because I hope they can see it.
Oh
Um,
God. OH.
IO.
Hey.
Oh, I
So
hope I hope they can see this, because I'm like, how else are we gonna be able to communicate knowing our technology?
I don't know, but people out there need to know that we're going to start dressing up every time we podcast
Yes. Yeah,
with
we're gonna look weird, but it's gonna be fun.
college shirts
Yep.
because we support college and career readiness.
Yes. Because we know our kids all need it.
Absolutely.
If not college, definitely a career.
What are you thinking about as far as, let's just, instead of going into details, let's talk about nationwide. How are we feeling about education during this pandemic?
Boy, are we going to it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out when it's all done.
I know. I've seen
Hopefully, all the
some
goodwill that teachers have won't go away by the time this is all done.
I've seen some reformers on Twitter talking about like this is how education should be run. Like we should roll with it. Basically like taking the human teacher out of the
Right,
equation.
and just have the teacher just be like the person for Apex, in which all they have to do is just be there to pass the kids on to the next exam.
And as elevating educators, we elevate human contact when the pandemic's over.
Yes.
And nothing can replace, I mean, yeah, technology is awesome. I'm loving that people are getting on board with Google Classroom and Flipgrid and all these different apps and Zoom meetings and lots of ways to connect. But nothing replaces building a relationship with a human.
That's for sure. I miss my kids. I really do.
I do too. I got the really saddest email this morning. One of my students said that their grandma contracted coronavirus in Mexico
Ooh.
and they're not really doing well. So I'm going to set up a Google Hang so we can chat later.
Yeah, and the worst thing is with most of my kids in high school, my seniors and my juniors, they're working right now
Yeah. I
because
have a friend.
they have to support the families. So
I have a friend who shall not be named who teaches high school. And I'm sorry for all these beeps. I don't know how to make my beeps stop.
I think it's because we're both on Facebook, probably.
Maybe.
I just Facebook, so we'll see if that works.
She said, because she teaches seniors, she said, I didn't like the class of 2020, but I didn't wish a pandemic on them.
Yeah, the seniors were tough this year. I mean, there's no lying about that. So, I mean,
But we still don't want them to miss out on all those
yeah, I
fun
feel
senior
so bad
events.
for them. Proms for most of the kids, prom is done.
Mm-hmm.
Graduation is we don't know if that's going to happen.
Maybe it'll be virtual. Like, here's your diploma.
That's going to be interesting to try to pull that off.
I know. We'll see. I don't know. And then you and I are both Heart of Education finalists.
Yep.
And I know you were really sad about the event not.
Yeah, that was just disappointing. I mean, my mom was going to fly in before all of this was going to happen. She was going to be my date to the event.
Yeah.
And it would have been my first time going, so.
I know. But we'll still celebrate virtually and maybe you'll win money. You never know.
You may win money too, who knows?
I mean, my odds are higher than yours because me and my husband were nominated.
All right, so 2 versus what, 400?
Our odds are higher. Hutchin squared.
Imagine both of you won.
I don't think they would do. People would be really upset. No, they'd probably just.
But I'm like, do they know you two are married? You two are related?
We don't talk about each other in our essays. I don't know.
But it would have been fun. It would have been nice to see it all. I still wonder if we're gonna get the swag bag and all that.
The swag bag's not that great.
Hey, it's my first time when I went 10 years ago when I went to the Emmys, when I got nominated for the Emmys.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, free stuff.
Yeah, free stuff is cool. Maybe they'll give you some stuff. I don't know.
I mean, I am a little cheap, I will admit that, but free is always good, you know? Even if it's like a free bottle of shampoo.
True. So what's your favorite quarantine food right now?
Anything I can get my hands on that's easy to make, honestly.
Like what are you even making?
Well, I have a whole bunch of like I did pork chops the other night.
Ew.
I know. But since I can't eat red meat, I have to go with
Oh,
the alternatives. So it's like pork and chicken.
true. I've been eating a lot of just frozen food.
I know. I have frozen food too, like frozen dinners.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did eat pizza for breakfast because somebody left pizza on my doorstep for me.
Aw.
Nice.
So what's it like? Pizza Hut,
It
pizza.
was someplace called like Lefty's Pizza.
Aw. Oh, why would they leave it for you so early in the morning though?
It wasn't this morning. It's just left over.
Oh,
Yeah, because I think they were just trying to cheer me up.
aw. I
Yeah.
have no idea who it was.
No, I think I found out who it was. It was a coworker.
Aw.
So she left me pizza and a bunch of quarantini ingredients.
How did
So
she get into your place though?
I don't know. I think maybe another coworker gave her my code and gave her my address
Hmm.
because I never had her over to my house before. But she left me lemon vodka, limoncello, and cranberry juice, which is what I use to make my quarantinis.
So how are your quarantines?
So first, I take because I don't have a crushed ice. I'm not fancy.
I know
I
I've
don't
seen
have a crushed
pictures of
ice
you just like
machine.
smashing it with the hammer.
So I posted a video of me like the boomerang smashing my ice in the Ziploc bag. And then I put that in my shaker, the crushed ice. I do a shot of lemon vodka, a shot of limoncello, and just like pour some cranberry juice in there. You shake it up and then you strain it over into your martini glass. Pro tip, put your martini glass in the freezer 10 minutes prior so it's nice and frosty. That's a martini pro
How are
tip.
your kids surviving being home?
They love it. I don't understand. They think that homeschool is the best. Like behind me, can you see what it says?
I see it says create a comic strip. Uh, must have pictures and words like Dogman books.
So I try to come up with like fun writing prompts each day, and then they have journals, and that we've been doing this for 2 weeks now. So is it 2 weeks? How long have we been doing
This
this?
is week 3.
Yeah, so 2 weeks. So I tried to make like a fun prompt this week, and then they do their online programs for their teachers, and then me and Chris also have like physical packets we printed because in case people watching this don't know, Chris is a kindergarten teacher, so I am set as far as homeschool. He just does all the curriculum. And then we would take a family walk. They weren't really close with like particular people at school, so they don't really have like best friends to miss. And honestly, it's strange, but it's a good transition into gearing because they got into gearing magnet for next year. So they're not like sad about saying goodbye. They're just like, all right, let's keep it moving.
So how long were they at this school?
They were at Cartwright just this past year. And they see neighbors and stuff, and like you can tell they want to interact with people because they're not used to not seeing people every day. So we saw a neighbor and he was with his kids in the parking lot, and Everett was like, sorry about coronavirus. And the neighbor was like, it's okay, thanks for taking the blame.
I can't imagine like having to sit with like everyone who has parents. I mean, who has kids, like the little ones right now. God bless them. So
I have a coworker who has 5 kids, and I'm just like, I don't know how you're doing this.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it with the 2.
Oh, they're fine. They're easy.
I think my mom would have lost her mind if she had to homeschool both of us for like weeks.
I think, because my grandpa has been, through the ringer, and then with his passing, they've left me alone for the most part. They know I'm really emotional, so they've been kind of being on their best behavior for me.
That's good. How are you doing with all of that?
It's rough. Like I feel like I take out a lot of my thoughts and feelings on social media. Like I have no filter. Whatever I think, I just post, especially during this time. Huh?
I think that's a good thing and a bad thing.
Sometimes it's bad. I don't think I've gotten into trouble with it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think you have.
I'm just open. I'm an open book. And so I just like
fight with anyone yet, so
I don't get in fights. No. I try not to. And I try to say things in a way that people can empathize with, but not argue over. Like I'm just giving them facts. Like, like on my Twitter, I posted, here are some cold hard facts about coronavirus and the deaths that have ensued. Number one, my grandpa will be buried naked in a plastic covering with no clothing on because of the virus. I mean, that's just a cold hard fact. Number two, my grandma can't be there because she tested positive. So she can't even be physically present at the funeral. And I don't remember what the third one was. Oh, I think I just said three were Zooming his funeral because only 5 people can be present.
Is that just a requirement by the state or just because of
I think the funeral home itself said you have to keep it small and it can only be outside. And with the, Jewish religion, we have to bury our loved ones typically within 24 hours if you're going to go like old school.
Right.
But we're doing it within like 72 hours.
Right.
And it's just been a whirlwind because people think, oh, they're old, the elderly are more susceptible. But I'm telling you, he was walking, talking just fine 2 weeks ago. And so that's why it's really hard. And he was only 81. That's not that old. He's not like ancient, like the media, puts out there. Right. And as you know, people of all ages have passed from this. It's not just the elderly. So I'm okay. In a nutshell, I'm okay. I was more crazy, and you can attest to this, last week while he was going through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were normally crazy to begin with.
No.
And then you just got a little crazier. No.
I went like psycho. Like I think I was, we're in that group chat, and then every day I'm just posting to you guys like, this is what's happening. He's not talking anymore. Now he's by himself. And I was like literally processing with you guys in that group chat. And you guys were always the first one I would message because I don't know, just our group chat with all of our loved ones it's just really important to me. And you guys were a really good support system. Mm-hmm. If I didn't have that, I'd probably go batshit crazy.
Well, during this time, I mean, we're all going a little crazy just because we're stuck home.
Yeah,
and I see pictures and videos of my friends going out all the time, like to exercise and going to Red Rock. I'm like, stay home.
Hold on.
Okay.
He needs charger.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
We're recording our podcast right now. Okay.
Sorry.
But how are you doing, Ryan? We got to see each other through my car door window.
I know, on Saturday. I'm doing all right. I mean, it's hard being in isolation by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Just because when you have no one here.
I know that. I mean, like at the end of the day, I'm always very thankful that I have my husband and my kids to drive me crazy, and I can drive them crazy.
Right.
But I don't know what's worse, being alone or with people.
Sometimes I wish I'm happy to be alone, and then other days I'm like, I wish I had people.
But you're going to get your mom out here soon, aren't you?
Yes. Now, the hardest part is to get her packed up and moved out here.
So what does that process look like? Are there still companies that are doing moves and things like that?
That's what we're still trying to figure out.
Okay.
We're just seeing if the peak is going to happen and if we're going to have to check if they're going to close borders and all that.
I heard the peak was April 15th.
For Nevada.
What about Florida?
I don't know. I haven't heard that yet, but I know New York still hasn't reached its peak yet, and And then my mom was supposed to have gone to New York this past weekend, and she had to cancel because she would have been put into a 2-week quarantine when she got back.
Yeah, my friend Leah just went through that when she flew back. So she teaches for China. We had her on our podcast, and she teaches for China, and so she's been quarantined since January 24th. And she happened to be in Vietnam on vacation, but just stayed in Vietnam for 2 months. And then from Vietnam, when she saw things were starting to get bad in America, she flew to Vegas just secretly. I didn't even know she was here until like she decided to leave again. So she was here just to say like hi to her dad, and then left on March 16th to try and get back to China before they closed their borders. When she got to China, she had to stay in like a holding cell for 2 days, like a tiny room, no access to anybody. And they took all these different tests, like her blood, swab up the nose, swab down the throat. And then she finally, once they got the results that she was negative, now she gets to be quarantined in a hotel for 2 weeks. Isn't that crazy?
So when is she going to get out?
I don't know. She's been teaching online since January, so she doesn't know.
I don't know. Do you think we're going back this year?
I personally don't think so. No. I think that maybe like end of May, they'll let teachers come in to clean out their classrooms or something. But I don't think we'll be back in a classroom with students this year. But I'm no expert, and I'm not the president, and I'm not the governor, and I'm not a scientist. So I don't know.
Well, you're a counselor. Doesn't that make any difference?
It's just my heart. It's just what I feel. What about you? You think we're going back?
No.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that. Sadly, I think I've seen the last of my kids this year.
Yeah. I miss my students a lot.
I do too. It's hard. I mean, it's hard because when this happened, it's like we're not going to get to see them again, potentially.
Yeah, like closure.
The closure. Like, you know how you say goodbye at the end of the year, be like, oh, we'll see you next year.
Right. And I missed that last Friday before school. I took off because Everett had a cough, and he was being quarantined at school. So I took it off because I was like, I don't want him to be quarantined at school. So I didn't really say bye to anybody. Did you?
I said bye. I was like, hopefully we'll see each other Monday. And then, of course, on the 15th, it came down that we're done.
Right.
For now.
So the boys, they participated. I'm kind of like segueing into something more positive because we are elevating educators. They did an art class online with my friend Sarah, and these are what they made.
Aww.
They're like 3D stories. This is Atticus's. Isn't that fun? Something super easy that you can make at home.
Does Atticus even know who he's named after yet?
Yeah, but he says, I was named after a movie. I'm like, no, you're named after a book. Book before the movie.
I remember, like, in my night school, I showed the movie. They liked the movie better than the book.
Of course. The movie is a classic.
Right. Even though it's over 60 years old now, almost 60 years old.
Right. So what are your other tips and tricks for educators to stay elevated during the pandemic?
Keep track of your kids. Like, you try to get a hold of them. I mean, I'm not one that's going to be like, do this work, do this work, do this work, do this. I'm like, you do the work, it's fine right now. I'm not concerned about it.
You just want to say hi.
I want to say hi. I want to see how you're doing. I want to make sure all is well.
That's where we're at too at my school. We just want to check in, help the ones we can, point them to the right resources, and just be present for them.
And if we're told we have to grade for actual grades later, then we'll do that. We'll cross that bridge. But
yeah, it's literally day by day information. So don't stress about the end of the year. Just focus on each day. And we are blessed to be paid every day, you know, and it's not hard to send an email,
right,
to check in with kids just to make sure they're okay.
The hardest thing is the emails are so backlogged right now.
I know, in Infinite Campus, yeah. That's why maybe Google Voice, Remind. There are other avenues that are
But
faster.
Google Voice is not supported by the district.
No, it is. It just got added to 4100.
Because I was going to say, more that it's not part of the paid system that they paid for it.
You can check. I don't know. I think I still have my Google Voice number. It didn't go away. So just check. I would check and see, because it got added to the regulation. They added everything.
Right. To make sure they don't have to pay for it all and that the teachers can do it.
Right.
I mean, I've done Zoom. Like I did it my first Zoom on Friday, but I messed up on sending it out. So only one kid got in. But
oh yeah, it's hard. And I don't want, as a counselor, to send one and then like have 400 people jump on. I don't want to break confidentiality. So I'm trying to just, when a kid reaches out to me, I'm like, here's my Zoom. Do you want to Zoom today? What time?
well, that's good. At least you're available for them.
I'm trying. I mean, last week, I'm not going to lie, I was not in a good headspace. We know this.
Right.
But this week, I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to get back to work.
Well, I mean, obviously, no one wants to see like their family, like their relative, go through what you guys went through, and none of you can't be there at all.
And my mom and I are interviewing with Fox today. So just to share my grandpa's story and let people know that, this is what happened to him, and stay safe, stay inside.
Right.
Do it for America. Do it for Nevada.
Yeah, stay home, Nevada.
Stay home, Nevada, for real. Stop taking your kids on play dates. Stop meeting your friends in parking lots.
Or just like having group events at the park and all that.
Yes, stay home, people. But with that, we should probably wrap up our Zoom.
Yes,
so people aren't sick of us.
We promise to actually start recording more.
Well, we have all the time in the world now.
Right now. So hopefully we can, once we figure out how to use Zoom well enough and we can start recording things, making sure you see both of us.
Yeah.
We can actually do video Zooming and everything.
And we can add guests and different things onto our Zoom.
Right.
It'll be fun.
That way. It's a whole new way.
It'll be good, actually.
Yeah. Plus, we don't have to leave home.
Precisely. I love that. All right. Bye, Nevada, and bye, podcast partner.